Hello everyone, and thanks for watching. I am going to try something new today. This is the first Let's Play video I've ever attempted, and it might be the only one, who knows. But we're going to play a little bit of Total War Rome 2, or Rome 2 Total War, depending on how you read the box. And a few things on my experience with Total War. I'm a strategy game enthusiast. One of the reasons I love playing strategy games, and one of the reasons I would even consider doing a stream like this, is they're so fascinating to play and to watch, especially when they're any semblance of historically accurate, and you feel like, for instance, in games like Total War Rome 2, Total War Attila, feel like you are changing history, making your own version of history. Or just reliving history as it was. It's very compelling. Plus, I'm a huge fan, and always have been, of the Roman Empire. Like, ever since I saw Gladiator when it came out in theaters, and maybe even before, but Gladiator was that first moment where you really were just in awe of this empire of mythical proportions from way back in the day. So that's why I love these games, that's why I love strategy games, and that's why I decided that it might be fun to do a recording. I don't know that I'll ever even upload this, but for now, here we are. So without further ado, we're going to play a campaign, a grand campaign with no prologue of any kind. A couple of caveats on how I play. I'm playing the vanilla game, which for the uninitiated amongst you, that just means I'm playing the game without any modifications of any kind. I've never played Rome with any mods. I know there are some mods out there. The Radius mod is very popular. I'm a pretty casual gamer, so this is purely for entertainment value, not necessarily for the challenge or for doing anything incredibly complex. So if I commit to this, it's going to be several videos, and we'll take it kind of one step at a time, and you can watch for as long as you like. I play the game on easy. Going back to what I said a moment ago, this is for entertainment value, not challenge. So those of you who are hardcore strategy enthusiasts who might be watching thinking, hey, I would like to learn how to really get good at these games. I am a graduate student. I do this in my free time, what little free time I have. And frankly, I need to not be stressed out doing something super hard when I have that free time. So no offense to graduate students who do look for challenges in their free time, but for me personally, I just really enjoy playing games like this for the pleasure of it. So let's start a new grand campaign. We're going to play as the House of Julia, again on easy. The start year will be 272 BC, so way back when the Empire didn't even really exist yet. So as you can see, we will get some penalty because the Julia is the House of Julius Caesar eventually. There will be problems, due to our oppressing foreign cultures. That's just a necessary evil when you are playing as a large empire, let alone the Romans. But there's also a Romanization bonus, so as I spend time taking over territory, there will be some additional help that I get playing as the House of Julia in making sure that cultural oppression goes away, because the land will convert to being Roman land as I take it over. Also, there is a Barbarian Subduers, so I will automatically have a little bit of a boost with any fights against barbarian tribes, which is pretty cool, which will come in handy, of course, once I start expanding. But I've done a lot of introduction here, and I'm sure those of you, especially those of you who don't play too many games like this, might be interested in kind of seeing how it works. So without further ado, it's the second time I've said that. Building a new campaign will take a moment to load. It's a good quote from Marcus Aurelius. Speaking of Gladiator references, not that the Marcus Aurelius in the movie Gladiator was any historically accurate representation of the man at all, but that's a good quote nonetheless.
You are at war with the Etruscan League. March north and capture their territories. This will allow you to consolidate Italia and ensure the safety of Rome. You must wage war if you hope to extend your dominion. Syracuse and Carthage own territory in Magna Graecia, so conflict with them is inevitable if you wish to expand across the Mediterranean. Otherwise, they may prove useful allies against Etruria or the Gaulish tribes to the north. Come what may, Rome will triumph.
Yes, Rome will. Anytime I play this, I very rarely play as anyone other than Rome. One time I did do a Greek empire. I started in Athens, and I expanded out and actually conquered Rome and did all that. That was a lot of fun. But our goal with this, if I see it through, which again I don't know if I will be to go out and actually take all of the land that is associated with the Roman Empire. And that's an interesting little caveat for anyone watching this who's never played a Total War game before. Both Total War Rome 2 and Total War Attila, and it's been a long time since I played Total War Rome 1, but I'm assuming it's the same for that as well. You don't have the option of taking over the world. You only have the option of taking over the territory, and maybe a little bit further than that, that the Roman Empire actually held. So, for instance, I can't go that far down, that far south into Africa, for those of you who know the map of the Roman Empire. And I also can't go beyond, of course, the western shore of Europe. That's it. I can get to England, which is, of course, north of the European mainland. Well, northwest. But that's it. So I will be limited to just that. But I will try to conquer that, because that's the fun. You're recreating the Roman Empire. You're hopefully doing even better than the Roman Empire did, which is always cool to do. So, we've got a mission here. They're going to give us a little bit of money once we've captured some territory. Thank you for that. Alright, well, the first thing we're going to do, I'll try to narrate what I'm doing, but not take too much time. We've got this starting army. It always starts out a little bit bare bones, and we can very quickly add some spearmen. You'll notice there are some hastati, which is a basic melee unit. And then we've got some skirmishers, which those are the folks that throw lances. In a somewhat, I assume, historically accurate move, Total War Rome 2 does not have any bow units that are native to the Romans. Bows, of course, were something that barbarians used, and that the English eventually, the English developed the longbow later on in history. But bows were not something that Romans had early on, so that I think they went for some more historical accuracy in this. And you see skirmishers, so they throw long lances, javelins, rather than having bowmen. So what I've just done is I've trained up some spearmen to double up on this army, and I've trained an additional skirmisher, so that there's 3 heavy skirmishers and 3 light skirmishers, as you can see. The territory I hold is pretty scarce at the moment. You can see on the minimap here, I really just control the bottom of the boot being Italy, of course. This area here is the province of Italia. That's Roma, Neapolis, and then these 2 are held by the Etruscans, who was just mentioned in the introduction there. Velathri and Ariminum will be my first targets. Down here, I also have the province of Magna Graecia, which, again, the other 2 provinces are held by different factions. This is Syracuse. They are their own people right now. And then Lilybaeum is held by Carthage, of all people. And for that matter, you'll notice off the coast of Italy here, we have Corsica et Sardinia. Wow, I knew that by heart before I even changed it. That, I'm not sure what that says about me. But, no, it just means I look at this map a lot, which technically is hopefully a respectable thing. I know something about the ancient map, right? That's good. Anyway, this capital city here, just 2 cities here in this province. This is Corrales. It's also controlled by Carthage. And then Alalia is another, or Alalia maybe, is controlled by the Etruscans. So,
my skills are yours.
We've got that army training. See a little icon there. I'm going to go ahead and move this fleet into port at Neapolis, just to give us a little bit of a public order boost. Populations like it when there's army in the area. It makes them feel comfortable. Looks like there's some building I can do, so let's go ahead and expand Rome. can see the walls coming down, and they'll come back up in a moment there. Let's add a public forum, which we'll be able to upgrade into an amphitheater later, which I go for historical accuracy there. I mean, Rome had the Colosseum, did it not? Also down here, looks like they can expand, so I'm going to make Cassentia a little bigger. And food is always a good thing to have. It's not as important in Rome 2 as it is in Total War Attila, which food shortages are happening by that point. Total War Attila takes place when the Roman Empire is collapsing, so that's a much more dire situation. So I'm building a farm there. Rome, let's go ahead and upgrade to a civil colonia, which will help the territory grow, give me some additional wealth and such. Basically just making Rome a larger city, for those of you not interested in so many details. This is a spy,
What do you wish of
and I'm
me?
going to send her up here right now, because I want to see what that other army is. I saw them in the intro, but then they disappeared into the fog of war. Oh, there they are.
There is more I could do.
So I guarantee you, next turn, not this turn, but next turn, when I send this army to hit that one, they're going to run. That is assuming they don't run during turns after I end the turn. We'll see. Last but not least, we need to do some research. Let's see, supply reforms or civil reforms first. I'm going to be expanding pretty quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and hit supply reforms first. I've got two options here. I've got military research and civil research. Military, of course, makes my army stronger. Civil, of course, makes my cities stronger. So right now I need to focus on making my army stronger so that Rome can consolidate Italia, as per that mission I was given by the Senate. Also, before I forget, let's take a look at the... Let's close that. Let's take a look at the family situation. I've been playing Attila recently, enjoying the last few days of summer, and this is a foreign interface to me again. There's not as much of a family tree going on here. You can't really see the relationships between the characters. It's not as nice. But one thing I like to do in the beginning is this guy from the other houses, you never really meet him. He's a statesman, so he's not assigned to a role. He's not a general. He's not an admiral. And having someone with that much influence, as you can see, he has 36% influence over the Senate. And that's not going to go away immediately with what I'm about to do. But if you get rid of the other houses, it helps you gain power a little bit faster. And I will show you that a little bit later on. So this is going to cost me a little bit of influence and money, but I'm going to do it. Oh, wow, that's fantastic. First try. It doesn't always happen. Cool. So I think that's all I need to do. Oh, no, let's secure a promotion for this guy. So by securing a promotion, I get some additional help. I might be able to do it again. Nope, that's it. So already you can see my influence is up to 33. I don't remember what it was showing on the screen a moment ago, but that's a change. We want to fill as many of these bubbles as possible. It's not always a good thing to have them completely full because there's a risk of civil war. But as you notice, look at these bonuses in this tooltip. I get more research, I get more public order, I get more taxes. Everything improves the more influence I have over the Senate. So we want this red to fill this whole thing up. So by assassinating the other house character, this gray will start to shrink automatically. And hopefully throughout the game we'll keep that going. So that's enough for the first turn, I think, maybe. Is there anything else I can do? Nope, I don't have any building options. Oh, I have one other army. Let me go ahead and move. Looks like there's some public order problems in Magna Graecia, so we will hopefully attend to those. Part of the problem is that half of the province is owned by somebody else. So those people are sitting here going, we should have this full territory. What's wrong with you? Alright, we're going to end the turn. Let everyone else do their thing. Alright, my army, as you can see now, all those units trained in one turn. Doesn't always happen. If you queue up a lot of training or pay for expensive units, you're not going to double an army size that quickly, but those are inexpensive units and they're early. I was right about that army running. They hightailed it, I would guess, to the Araminium area, maybe?
As a shadow.
Well, there they are. Tell you what, let's go ahead and give this spy something to do. I'm going to tell her to wreck the baggage train, which, if she's successful, will keep that army from moving. and I can hit them sooner. They will not be able to escape me. It's a small army, which you can tell from their flag there. The further up, let me show you the Roman flag so you know what I'm talking about. Before I see this, those gold bars there show you how big the army is. So as you're watching, if you just want to get a sense for how big are these armies that are fighting, there you go. So, as you can see, small army. Very small. Not many bars. So they're not going to prove a challenge, but we still want to eliminate them. They're a relatively minor faction, and they're in our way of controlling Italy right now. So, we are going to wreck their baggage train. She has 40% chance of success. No. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't work. But I can try again. Lower chance of success. Why not? It won't hurt. Well, it could hurt, but... Yes! Success! Good job, Spy. And she leveled up. That's what the little fist pump means. And then, of course, the tooltip right after that. So we're going to give her some additional authority, which will help her do things a bit more easily in the future. So they are now stuck. They can't move. I won't be able to attack them this turn, but I will be able to attack Velothri. And what I'll probably do for this video, since I want to do this in chunks, is we will attack Velothri. And then I promise, if you are on a time budget, this is all we will do. We'll attack Velothri, we'll take it, and then I'll cut the video after that, and then continue with the campaign some other time. Because this is kind of cool. I'm enjoying this. And even if I get just a few of my friends to watch this, you never know. One thing I want to try and do with this is I very rarely really fight every battle. I will use auto-resolve a lot when I'm playing this by myself. And you never know, I might switch towards that later in the campaign when some of the battles get repetitive. But it really adds to the sense of immersion to literally do everything yourself. To, you know, if you have a fight, to actually control the units, see the war through yourself from beginning to end as the Roman Empire, or as whoever you're playing as. That's a cool thing. So that's what I'm going to try and do with this. If I lose patience, then you'll just have to forgive me. And hopefully I can forgive myself. So we're going to wait and see if this fog clears up, which it does. The conditions are dry now. We will start deployment. I'm confused. Why are we not... I was attacking Velothri directly. Okay. Their troops must have sallied forth to... And that's a, that's a term from the game, I promise. Their troops must have sallied forth to meet me, which that could potentially be a good thing. So what I'm going to do, rather than taking this offensively and marching my troops, because I have a much larger army, I'm going to sit back as I deploy these troops, and I'm just going to wait for them to come to me. So I will show you what these units look like in just a moment, but let's see. On the assumption that they are, in fact, just chilling, or that I get to just chill, rather, we'll put our spearmen right there.
At your service. Levies! Ready!
Put our heavy skirmishers up front.
Romans, ready for duty!
What's going to happen with these skirmishers is they are designed automatically to skirmish, which means that they will throw their javelins as soon as the enemy's in range, and you can see their range there. As soon as the enemy crosses that line, then... Yeah, that line went away, but you get my point. As soon as the enemy crosses that line, then they'll throw. But when the enemy starts getting closer, like within attack range, they will bug out, because they can't take hits. They're not designed to fight in battle, and I'll get close to them in a moment and show you what they look like. So anyway, next let's line up my Velites. I think those are Velites. No, Hastati. Don't have Velites yet. My bad. Alright, now I'm going to, speaking of Gladiator, I'm going to hide these guys right here in the woods. You can see they're hidden. So my general is off in the woods, just like Maximus. And as a matter of fact, just to make sure he is safe to charge, we're going to do a little bit better than that. I'm going to put him right there. I'm going to get these guys in formation so that I can move them all together like so. I'm going to put them there. Alright, now I promised you before we start this battle that I would... I can go ahead and start it. I'll show you what we're fighting with. So these are our armies. We have the Velites up front. As you can see, they're not well armed. They have these wooden shields and they have their fur armor, but aside from that, they're wearing cloth. So they will not survive in a hand-to-hand battle. And these are light... I think I said Velites there before. But actually, yes, those are my Velites. I'm getting my unit names mixed up. So we have the Velites, and then we have the Leves, which are the light missile infantry behind them. I just wanted to put them behind because they're very light, and they won't even be able to take as much punishment. So it just makes sense to let them kind of not take all the punishment. And then, of course, you have the Spearmen next. I always like to put them in front of any infantry just as a defensive posture. And then we have the Hastati. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, hey, where are their silver helmets and their red crests and all this? Remember, this is 272 BC. Maybe it's 271 now, because we did let a turn go by. But this is early Rome, so we will literally have to build up to a point where we get those awesome units. It doesn't look like they're moving. They're over there, but they're not marching to us. So my plan, unfortunately, has failed. Let's see here. We probably want to fight the battle out here in the clear. So let's get them here. Let's have the general move there. Okay.
Brave Romans to a man!
I'm going to do the chase cam on the general, just to give you a bit of a cinematic feel. Looks like a pretty day for a battle. Although, to be completely frank, this is going to be more of a slaughter than a battle. We'll speed this up in a minute because it will take a while to let the troops march. But what I'm doing is I'm just moving the general to another area of cover where he can then chill, and hopefully they won't notice that he's there. They won't know that he's there. Okay, looks like he's reached his moment. The rest of my units are marching. This is always such a fun view. I mean, how cool is this? Early Roman Empire. But not an empire yet. We can pretend. Oh! That was a dire warning. I guess that's why Rome functioned. They just threatened all their soldiers with death. Alright. Hearing battle horns, but not because we're being attacked. Yeah, they are clearly waiting for us, so what we're going to do is speed up the game a bit. Let you see what this looks like up close. No audio anymore from the creeping through the grass. I am having them march, not run, just in case some of you are wondering, just because running exhausts them. Yes, that is actually a thing. Running would wear them out, and I don't want to do that. So anyway, they're starting to line up now. They have their position. My general there will probably need to be a little further forward, so let's see.
In service to Rome!
Yeah, he's currently moving, and he is still hidden. So he's moving through that brush, and he is invisible as he moves. As long as you see that blinking eye, that's fantastic. So he's getting a lot closer to them.
Hastati!
These guys are getting into position. Alright, the general is successfully closer. Let's move them. I've sped up time again, so this will not take that long. It's like they're running, but they're really not. This is not going to go well for the Etruscan League. I can tell you right now. What have they got? Looks Looks like they've got some Italian cavalry here. Slow time down again just in case they pull something. Italian cavalry. A mob, which is basically peasants. Very light melee infantry. You can see they're dressed like peasants. They do have Italian spearmen. And then they have slingers. So literally, some David and Goliath style. Not even a slingshot, as we traditionally think of it with a rubber band. They literally have a sling that they swirl around and then throw a rock at you. Right, they did not pull anything, so... Alright, at this point, let's see, we want to get the Velites in range, so let's just move the army up. To the next hill and have them marching. And then as soon as I... Up, they are throwing. I will lose a few units from this, but not many. Alright, halt!
Stop now! Ready and waiting!
Hopefully they'll... Up! There we go. And the battle has begun.
General!
Let's have my general come in and kill their slingers.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Of course they have. They're charging. Alright, so their general is already on the verge of death. Up. Yep. This is going quite well. Sorry, I forgot to zoom in a little closer for you. Of course our general's under attack. He just charged those archers, rather. Authors.
General!
What are you doing? You should attack them. We're going to continue this for a little while longer, even though we just technically won the victory, just because I really feel like delivering a knockout blow. There's not much I can do at this point, since all of their troops are on the run. As you can see, they're all routing. So that was a very quick victory. There wasn't much to narrate because it ended so quickly. Plus, this is the first time I've done any kind of play-by-play while I'm fighting a battle like this. So if I did not give good views or treat it that way, I apologize. I will try to improve. I promise there will be much more cinematic battles if I follow through with doing this series.
Engage!
Alright, there are 38 of 90 of this mob left now, but my cavalry are currently running them over. 32, 31, yeah, this is not going to be pretty. Oh, that's, okay. Well, now there's not 38. There's, five. And there's a few guys running up there. Okay, we can go ahead and call it. Let's quit the battle. It's a decisive victory. We lost 42 men. They lost 458. But we also had about 3 times as many troops as they did, so what do you expect? They got their butts kicked. Won't always go that way. I promise you, some of the tribes to the north are much more challenging. And the Etruscans do have some larger armies in the field at this moment. The objective, of course, is always to try and knock them out before they can really use those armies to maximum effectiveness. Yeah, good night. Alright, so I've captured the Lothri, and I want to occupy it, because I want that to be part of my territory, peaceably. We now own the Lothri. Fantastic. And my general also has... Well, let's go ahead and give him a commander trait, which will make him a bit more authoritative. Now I have the option of upgrading a couple of different things. So I'll upgrade Neapolis. Okay, and as promised, I think we will go ahead and stop it there. That's, I think, a pretty good length video. Let's save it, just so that everything... Let's see here. Rome 59 AD, Dominus. Apparently I was feeling a little creative when I say that. So this is Rome. We're going to save that as a Let's Play file so we can come back to it. Probably won't do this all the time on video, but hey, first time for everything. Anyway, thanks for watching. If I continue, I hope you will continue with me. If not, I'll just continue to keep making. That's nice and redundant. I'll continue these videos for my own amusement, just because it's fun. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.